here. Welcome back, everybody, to Madden 24 or Madden 25 PS4 Restart Season 2. And we have made it to the second season of Restart. And Bailey goes back to back. His Bengals beat Rilo's Vikings in the Super Bowl. To get to the Super Bowl, Bailey's Bengals take out, who was the Raiders? Prime's Raiders along the way.
Out.
What's that?
Speaking of taking out.
Speaking of taking out, Magic wants to talk about a girl who has an ex-boyfriend.
What girl doesn't have an ex-boyfriend?
And then along the way, Bailey also took out SJR's Bills. So Bailey gets the bowl over SJR, Prime, and then beats Rilo. So Rilo makes it to a bowl, which usually only means one thing.
It's June.
It's June. Rilo gets shit stomped in a bowl, but we have another Rilo bowl coming up that Stokes is going to throw a flag on, saying that the bowl shouldn't even be recognized. But we'll talk about that on the next episode. But on this one, we're going to talk about Bailey. So Stokes, last episode we talked about how, okay, so he gets his second bowl. It wasn't on the same level as his first one where he beats Ridge and Han and West, and he's kind of an unknown and puts himself on the map. This one was more of a good for you, you won, but the talent level isn't there. He did go back-to-back, so and he is in a tournament that does include guys like Stop Cheese, E-Dub, KJ, Prime, SJR. So it wasn't a complete wash. What do we think about Bailey now that he's won back-to-back?
I don't really know if any of the perception about him would change, considering that, because I mean, we saw him get hot at the right time and win a bowl before. So I think that the perception coming out of it is just that he's a guy that you can't really sleep on, and if he gets into the playoffs, he's a threat. So, I mean, because there's some guys who get into the playoffs like, oh, that's good, he made the playoffs, that's great, he'll be out in the wild card. And I never thought Bailey was like that, and I still don't.
And Magic, we've kind of joked about the Restart League, but let's talk about Sham and Bailey here, because for them to have the initiative to start a league when none of us are involved without any of our help, and to keep it going for 2 seasons, we know how hard it is to keep a league going. They make it go 2 seasons. That says a lot about them, especially for June.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get people invested in the summer months when they've been playing the same game for 10 months already, it says a lot. And clearly they had a method that worked. They got the advances in. They got through 2 full seasons. They kept some of the core guys in, and it's a real testament to them. And because of that, I think we go to them more now than we did before, because we see that they have, well, not Sham. Sham's been around forever. He was around when dinosaurs were doing stuff. But yeah, it's Bailey. I think elevated him in terms of a guy we go to for opinions and input on stuff now.
Yeah, I know for sure. We went to him when it came to Madden 17 team selection. I'd privately message him and say, hey, what do you think of this guy? What about this guy? So we value his opinion a lot. We value Sham's opinion a lot. They're definitely important to us. So the season MVPs, Colin Kaepernick for Nick Mullins, San Francisco 49ers.
I think he's still in the group.
Yeah, I think he was actually a pretty decent guy. And then Coach of the Year was E-Dub for the New York Giants. The division winners, we have Lad Russo. New England Patriots.
No!
You throwing the flag, Stokes?
I'm sorry, Lad. I'm sorry, dog.
Shams Jacksonville Jaguars. Bailey Cincinnati Bengals, and Prime's Oakland Raiders. On the NFC, we have E-Dub's New York Giants, Rilo's Minnesota Vikings, KJ's New Orleans Saints, and Nick Mullins' San Francisco 49ers. And then for the wild cards, SJR's Buffalo Bills, who lost out to Lad Russo, Tyler Huss's Miami Dolphins.
He's in the group.
Mega's Seattle Seahawks. And old reliable Stop Cheesin's Green Bay Packers.
Damn it, Cheese!
Who lost out to Rilo in the division. Let's just go peep and see what Cheese did in these playoffs here. Cheese lost to KJ in the first round, who went on to beat E-Dub, who lost to Rilo in the conference championship game. How about Rilo? He beats Nick Mullins. Rilo got a bye? beat Nick Mullins, the 49ers.
A lot of surprises here.
And then beat KJ. Yeah, Nick Mullins against Mega in the wild card round. That had to be a show. All right. Well, that's a look at Madden 25 PS4 Restart Season 2.
The drunk years.
Again, hey, shout out to Sham and shout out to Bailey. But hey, let's talk about this for a second, guys. So let's talk about restart leagues in general, because we kind of laugh about them, and obviously early on they weren't what they have become, but they've become, I think, Stokes, a valuable tool to kind of re-energize our group of guys come the March, April, May timeframe.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to be firmly against restarts. I thought that, in a sense, it took away, what we've been building for however long we've been doing it. But I've grown to enjoy the restart, and I think that it does reinvigorate the fire for a lot of the people, and it gives them a chance to do something different. Now that they have, they know what kind of Madden player they are. They can go back and see some of the mistakes they made, whether it be a trade or whatever the case is, and they can try and be better for this restart for 3 or 4, however many seasons the restart goes. So I think it is a valuable tool, and I think that we will go back to it going forward.
And for those that don't know why we hadn't done them in the past, it's what PS4 brought us was the ability to use created rosters. So users around the world could upload their rosters, and then we could download them and use them in franchise. And what people would do is they would use the final roster update for Madden, but then they would also create all the rookies, and they do a really good job of creating their attributes pretty accurately. So after the draft, which is when this restart league took place, it gave you a chance to, okay, hey, we're in Season 6, some guy's interest is losing, the draft just happened. And usually for a lot of people, once the draft happens and free agency's over with, guys are already starting to get excited about the next Madden. It's like, man, my team just signed, Mario Williams in free agency. I don't want to use my old team. I want to use my team with Mario Williams on it. And, whoa, we just drafted Odell Beckham. I want to use him. And, it's like, well, we could keep using these same rosters, or we could use the new, fresh, cool guys you just got and start from scratch, and that's where the appeal comes in. So I think, like Stokes says, it's going to be something we go to going forward. Magic, I know you've had a chance to play in restart leagues. Actually, your first PS4 league was a restart league because you didn't you didn't get your PS4 right off the bat. What are your thoughts in general on the restart leagues?
I'm a big proponent of them now. I think we started 16. Is that the one we just finished?
Yeah.
We started that. Yeah, okay. I think we started that one a little bit earlier than I would have preferred. I like doing it once the draft happens. Not just arbitrarily deciding to do it in March just because. Once you have the draft, there's more ways to get people excited and interested and all that fun stuff. You're not doing it just to change up teams again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like it, and it's a nice way to get people who, we always let people know, hey, just because you don't join the restart league doesn't mean that'll hurt you. It can only help you. If we see that you join the restart league and you're active and you're doing more than maybe you could have from August to April or whenever, just because of a schedule or something like that, then. It's like, oh man, this guy is really active, and his schedule does allow him to do this. So let's keep this in mind for Madden 18 when we're doing the owner rankings again. So it's not something that's mandatory, and it does give us new people to choose from. So there's really no drawback to it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if it doesn't work out, it goes 1 or 2 years. I always look at the seasons that restart league goes as like icing on the cake. It's like if you make it, obviously you want to make it that first year, but anything after that, you're just like, hey, this is great. It's May, it's June, it's July. Squeeze another season out, another one. Hey, awesome. And another one. This one went 2, and that puts a bow on Madden 25.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness, as we crawled to the finish line. 9 seasons in the books. We had 4 on PS3, we had 5 on PS4, 3 original, 2 restart. And PS4 we knew it was going to be a challenging year, a fun year, an exciting year, and it was all of those things. Congratulations to Bailey for getting 2 Super Bowl championships and restart back-to-back. And that's a look at Madden 25. And on our next episode, guys, AFL has a fantasy league?
What?
What? Is this allowed? We'll talk about that next time on AFL Timeline History.